I think a lot of people, including myself and you guys watching, have definitely played at least one 007 game. There's a lot of good 007 games. They've been making those games for several years now. The one I loved when I was a kid was Nightfire on the GameCube, and I remember playing this with some of my friends, playing multiplayer. This was like our mini Call of Duty back in the day. There's other good ones too, like Quantum of Solace. I've actually talked about that on this channel before for the PS3, and there's games like Bloodstone, also not a bad one. There's definitely more other good games too, and the one that people love in the past from the retro days is GoldenEye. I'll go ahead and say it, I'm not a huge fan of this game. I've never even thought the game was that great, even as a kid, but that's just my opinion. I know some of you guys love this game, and good for you. The PS1 for sure had a few 007 games, and one that I just got a chance to play was 007 Tomorrow Never Dies. It's been in my collection for several years, but I'm just now getting to it because there's so many other games that I want to play, and you know how it goes, the backlog and such. The main question here though, is this game at all worth your time to check out and play? So sit back, relax, let's talk about 007 Tomorrow Never Dies for the PS1. 007 Tomorrow Never Dies was developed by Black Ops Entertainment and published by EA. It was released in 1999 only for the PlayStation 1. Black Ops Entertainment doesn't have a huge arsenal of games under their belt, but they've made some other PS1 games too, games like Black Dawn, which is a helicopter type of game, even Jurassic Park Warpath, this is a fighting game people talk about sometimes, and the X-Files on PS2, it's kind of a hidden gem survival horror game. The plot of this game really follows the film very well, and of course it's a James Bond film, and you're set out to destroy a media mogul's plan to induce a war between China and the United Kingdom. Agent 007, who's played by Pierce Brosnan in the film, gets the help of two female agents with him on his mission. They have to stop this guy named Elliot Carver. He pretty much wants to start a whole World War III and take over the world and just cause chaos. So, like the other 007 games, there's usually a mastermind, so James Bond has to go after this guy and beat him down to save the world. This is a third-person shooter stealth game, but honestly, there is no stealth in this game at all. Don't even know why they call it that. It's a third-person shooter. When you start the game, you can play as Agent Mode or 007. Agent Mode is normal, 007 is hard, essentially. The controls aren't too hard to get down. The D-pad will move you, or you can use analog mode too, that'll also do the job. X button is to shoot. Your circle button is your action button. You'll be using this to activate switches and doors. Triangle is to pull up your weapon item select. Every game had a copy of the Metal Gear Solid system and how they did this, so this game does the same thing. Square is your item button, and you'll use that to use medkits or your gadgets sometimes. L2 and R2 is to strafe left and right. L1 is your crouch. I don't use this too often in this game, you may not have to either. And R1 is FPS mode if you want to get a closer view on your enemy and shoot them. You can use select and it'll change your mobility. You can go from tank controls to free controls. I don't like it in this game though because I feel like you have better aim with the tank controls strafing. And start of course pauses the game. This game is a straightforward mission-based game. There's about 10 missions in the entire game, and the game will tell you what you need to do whenever you start. You'll get a mission debrief at the very beginning that you can skip if you want to, and then you'll just kind of start the mission and it'll tell you where you need to go. Sometimes it's saving a person, or activating a switch, or destroying an enemy, or destroying an object. It's a multitude of things, really. The one here at the beginning, there's like this radio satellite thing, and you gotta like destroy it, and pretty much you'll use your item, gadget, and you'll lock onto it, and an aerial strike will happen. Or another example is you have to go inside Hamburg in this hotel place, and you gotta save Paris, the other female agent, and you escort her out of there. To quickly mention too, other than the ground missions where you're just shooting enemies, you'll sometimes have ski missions. There's a couple in the game, and you pretty much just sled down the hill and you can attack your enemies. It's kind of lousy how it feels, but you can. There's also a driving mission, and the controls aren't the greatest, but it's only one mission, but you could shoot cars, and that feels kind of nice. Your weapons in this game are the usual suspects. You have your silencer pistol like you normally do, or an assault rifle, which is the best gun I think in the game. You get an SMG, you can get a sniper rifle, which will help sometimes, and you get a rocket launcher at the end of the game in one mission. Ammo is no problem in this game. You'll find it all the time. Killing enemies, you'll find it, and you'll just see it scattered throughout the level, and you'll find medkits too, as well as 007 icons, which are an extra life. You'll be in a few different places in the whole game. You'll actually start off in Russia in the mountains, and that's why it's so snowy. You'll see a lot in this game from the footage. You'll also be in the city of Hamburg, and you'll be in like the city as well as storage units and a newspaper factory. You'll be in the Hokkaido Alps, which is North Japan, and you go to Saigon at the end of the game, and you don't play as 007 the whole time, you actually can play as his female agent counterpart too in one mission. You've got a handful of lives in this game when you start off the mission. You'll have about 3, and if you lose all your lives, of course the mission's over and you gotta start over. There are no checkpoints in this game. If you beat the mission, you can save your game right after the mission, so you can do that, and that's very nice in between missions if you fail. Forewarning, I did die on a mission and got a game over later in the game, and when I started that mission, I had no lives because I had 0 when I started it. I don't know why it does this, and I tried to go back to another mission to kind of grind, and it just didn't work. Leave a comment down below if you've played this game before and if you know why that is. There's lots of enemies in this game that you'll fight in every single level, and they're pretty much all the same, just look a little different. They all just shoot at you and you just blast them away, because you have an auto aim in this game and that's how that works, so you'll just shoot. Sometimes enemies will respawn, actually quite often, so if you leave an area and go too far away and come back, they'll be right there again sometimes, not all the time. The difficulty in this game is pretty good. It starts off easy like it should, and as the game gets on, it progressively gets harder. There's no weird random difficulty spikes, so it's very nice that it's just consistent. You'll come across boss fights in this game, and they're not too hard, you just gotta run around and such, but damn they have a lot of health. It takes freaking many bullets to kill these bosses sometimes. The bosses overall are kind of fun, and the music going is pretty cool, so I do appreciate that at least. There are setbacks with this game though, however, and camera of course is definitely one of them, which that's kind of common in a lot of games at the time. It's not in every mission, but missions like this one with Paris following you, the camera just fucks itself out. It's weird. Anyone who's played this game before probably knows what I'm talking about. It's also very hard to avoid gunfire in this game sometimes. Sometimes you'll be strafing and shooting and they'll be hitting you sometimes, but you feel like you're not doing anything to the enemy, and you just kind of have to stay still sometimes to get a good shot, but you'll get hit in the process. To me, the biggest flaw in this game is your first person mode, minus the sniper because that one's fluid. Any other gun like the assault rifle, it is slow to move the cursor, and you'll need to use this in missions like the newspaper level because enemies are above and it's hard to get an auto lock, so when you're aiming, you're going so slow you'll get hit. And this freaking helicopter boss at the end, you'll need the rocket launcher to beat him, and you gotta time your shots very well. If you don't, this helicopter is gonna kill you instantly. 007 Tomorrow Never Dies, it's not too bad on the PS1. It's definitely not on the level of games like Siphon Filter, C12, or even freaking Ghost in the Shell, but as far as a third-person shooter goes, it checks all the boxes. It's got some variety here in this game going on, as well as decent game overall to its core. It's definitely not perfect, it's got some setbacks like I just mentioned, but overall, there is fun to be had with this game. The music in this game is pretty good, so I do enjoy listening to that as I'm playing this game, and the graphics are honestly not too bad for 1999. This is actually a really well-looking game for the time. It's a nice touch they have a difficulty setting in this game, as well as the cutscenes in between levels here and there. This game is definitely a short playthrough. You can probably beat it within 2 to 3 hours depending on your playstyle, but that's not really a negative to me. It's kind of subjective. Some people don't have a lot of time, so this is a good one to play and pick up. Access to this game, of course, is limited. It's only on the original PlayStation. It's been on nothing else or re-released ever again. Luckily, this game is not too expensive at all. It's actually less than $10 complete in box all day long. They always have multiple copies of these games at the game stores around me, so check that out if you want to own it physically. Not the best James Bond game in the series, definitely not. There's definitely others that are a little bit better than this, but if you're looking for a third-person shooter on a retro console like the original PlayStation and you've played Siphon Filter and such all the way, then yeah, definitely check this one out. I appreciate you guys for sticking all the way to the end to watch this video. If you got anything to say, definitely leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you got to say. Thanks so much for watching. Y'all take it easy.